What's going on, guys? It's Will Kelly with Military Lawn Cuts, where we own 2 lawn care companies, and last year one of our locations did over $600,000 in revenue, and we just started our second location here, getting it off the ground running. But in today's video, what I am going to be talking about is basically attracting top talent for your business. Now, what credibility do I have to be able to share this information and my experiences with you? So let's kind of jump into that. So I personally have done over hundreds of interviews for our own company. Currently right now, our staff, we have close to roughly 10 team members. The most that we've ever had at one time was, I think, close to maybe 13. But we've adjusted a few things and really have allowed our team to just really get those top performers. So we don't need as many people. We're able to do a lot more with less. Which is ultimately what you want to do as a business owner, is try to pull out the best that you can in your team, so that way we can all accomplish what we need to and move the business forward. So in today's video, what we are going to be talking about is attracting top talent. Now, what does that mean? There's a lot of team members out there or employees that are looking for jobs, but you want the top 10% in your organization, because having the right people can allow you to propel to your goals where you want to go a lot quicker. All right. So I'm going to share with you some of these things that we do within our company. I'm not going to really talk about how to find team members. This video is not on how to find them tactfully or whatever, and like what to do. This is more so, how do you attract key performers, high performers, okay? So here are some of the things that we do in our business to attract that top talent. So the first thing is we pay based off of performance. So I see a lot of companies out there that will basically just pay an hourly rate to their team. And what we found is that's a very demoralizing way to pay for somebody who is a high performer, because what we found and what happens is you'll have, let's just say, for example, you're paying somebody $20 an hour, and employee A is working super hard, but employee B shows up late and doesn't get as much done as employee A. Well, from an employer standpoint, it's not really fair for employee A to get paid $20 an hour when employee B is doing less work. Like, to me, that doesn't really make sense, and to them it doesn't either. So for the really high performers that are really valuable, you want to be able to pay them what they're worth. And from an employer standpoint, I want to pay them more, especially, and I can if they're able to perform better. So this is a whole game changer that I learned in our business within the last couple of years, because we used to pay on an hourly rate, and it just was not, the model that we wanted in our business. And when we shifted over to a performance pay model, it was a complete culture change and game changer. So that's number one, is performance pay. However you structure it, it could be hourly plus bonuses, it could be salary plus bonuses, but you want to, what you incentivize and pay for that bonus, the team member and the employee will focus on. So whatever results you want to drive in your business, make that be the focal point of that performance pay, and you'll see it'll absolutely change your business around. All right, so I went through and put the stuff on the board real quick. So basically, the next thing is going to be team culture, okay? So this is really important for really good team members that like to have a healthy workspace and a respectful workplace. I can't tell you how many times I've done interviews that, with employees or potential candidates that come over and say, look, my previous boss didn't respect me, the team members didn't respect me, and when it comes down to it, at the end of the day, what your team wants is a safe place for them to operate freely within the boundaries of the game in your business. So you want to equip them with what those rules are, but you also want to be kind and also also stern to make sure that they are playing within those rules and addressing it if there is an issue or a problem in a very respectful, humbling way where you're like, hey, and really just trying to take the time to educate them on why these rules are in place and things of that nature. They just want a really good team culture. And I think what also helps the team culture is having this basically like links to this. Okay, so what you'll find is because we pay based off of performance, solely performance, the team culture completely was revolutionized and changed when we went to a performance pay, because now we're all on the same team. If the business wins, we win. And there's other ways that they win, but we're all on the same team. When you're on an hourly rate, so let me break this down for you. Sorry, I'm kind of going back on this one, but this one's that's why it's number one, it's performance. When you're on an hourly rate, so we're in the lawn care business, and when, let's just say, for example, you have a property cleanup that takes 8 hours. It's budgeted 8 hours. Like, hey, this job's going to take 8 hours. The estimator, that's what they figured out. Okay, when you're on an hourly rate and you're paying them $20 an hour, when the team member goes out to that job, they want that job to take longer because they will get paid more. If they work a 10-hour day, then they are going to make more money at $20 an hour. But the employer and business owner, if you're paying out hourly, you want it to take as short as possible. You want it to take 6 hours instead of 8 hours. You're like, hey, how do you guys get it done faster, be more efficient? I want them to get it done 6 hours. So now you have the employee wanting it to take 10 hours, the business owner wanting it to take 6 hours. Realistically, a normal person should be able to get it done in 8 hours. So the employee's going one direction and the business owner's going the other opposite direction. That's why hourly rate doesn't work that well. Now, when you realign those goals and you say, hey, look, we're going to pay you based off of performance. Maybe it's a percentage of what they make. Maybe it's how many jobs they get done. However you want to structure that performance pay, immediately, all of a sudden, what happens is that mindset gets completely shifted. Because if we're both on the same page and we know that job's going to take 8 hours and they're getting, let's just say, 33% of that revenue, which is 1/3 of the job, well, whether or not they get it done in 15 hours or 5 hours, they're still going to get paid whatever 1/3 of that job is. So the time factor goes away. Like it doesn't matter anymore. The mindset is to try to get the job done as quickly and efficiently as possible, because if they can figure out a way to get that 8-hour job done in 5 hours, they're going to make way more money per hour doing that job and can possibly fit another job in, making more money that day. Now, both the employee and the business owner is on the same page and wanting to make more money, being efficient, and making sure the quality is good for the customer so they don't have to go back. So that's why I say the team culture will completely change and evolve when you have a performance type model throughout your entire structure and organization, not just the field member crews, but also maybe your office managers and your office staff and higher level, C-level executives need to get also paid based off of performance. So that way they're incentivized that we're all in the same boat, we're all on the same page together, and we want to move the business forward and be as profitable as possible. Now, number 3, treat people right. So this is huge. I cannot express this enough. Is anytime there's a scenario that comes up, I always literally try to ask myself this question: how would I want to be treated in this situation? And when I start to ask myself, the wheels start to spin in my mind, and I'm like, okay, me coming out there and yelling at him for messing up and making a big fuss about it is not how I would want this to be handled. So if I start to shift that psychology mindset of like, hey, what if I was in their shoes? How would I want to be treated or spoken to when I made a mistake? And really trying to revert that to more of a kind but stern approach, then you can start to create a good culture and a safe place for people to make mistakes. And understanding that mistakes are going to be made, you need to let your leaders and managers have room to make mistakes, because they need to learn from them and allow them let that leash off a little bit and not micromanage so much, so that way they are able to make mistakes. Hopefully no major mistakes, but enough for them to learn from them and make sure that it doesn't happen again moving forward. Okay, so profit sharing is something that we do as well. So we have a good attendance profit sharing program, to where if we have a team member, especially out in the field, that shows up consistently every single day on time, then they are eligible to earn profit sharing from the business from day one, as long as they work the entire quarter. As long as they don't have any tardies or unexcused absences, they're eligible to partake in that profit sharing. When we flip this switch on, it started to attract people that are like, this is a no-brainer. Like, I come to work every day, so you're telling me that I'm actually going to get paid more as a bonus, part of profit sharing, to just do what I'm supposed to do every day? Man, this is wild. I've been working at this company for years, and I've showed up every day, and they never gave me a bonus for that. So again, what you incentivize, they will conform to, and you will realize that whatever you incentivize, whether it's performance, profit sharing, for good attendance, and things like that, your team will start to evolve, and you'll attract those top performers to focus on those focal points. All right, benefits. This is really important as you start to grow your business. Definitely something that you don't want to think about necessarily if you're just getting your first 50 customers or 100 customers or whatever. But as you start to grow in year 2, maybe 3, and you start to establish a true brand, you start to have a team culture, you've got 4, 5, 6 employees now, you want to start to eventually be able to offer some type of benefit. So the benefits that we offer are dental, life, disability insurance, vision insurance. So these, and not only are these benefits offered for the team member, but it's also their families. So now they can come to work and know that their family are taken care of as well for their dental needs and things like that. It's a lot cheaper going through the company as well, instead of them getting their own individual plan. But that's definitely helped a ton. And then we're now going to start to transition into Audible books, okay? So I'm going to erase this board real quick, and then we'll jump right into it. All right, so we are going to be talking about Audible books, all right? So this is something of a benefit that we offer for our team. Again, this whole concept is, how do we attract high-level people? Well, to me, high-level people are people that are wanting to continually grow and get better personally, professionally, physically, mentally, emotionally. People that want to grow. Those are the top tier talents that we want to attract. Well, how do we do that? So one thing that we do is we offer Audible books for free with our company. As long as somebody has worked here for longer than 30 days, we allow Audible books to be paid for and sent to as a gift to our team members through email. They get it while they're out on the job, mowing, weed control, landscaping, whatever. They can listen to an Audible book while also making money, okay? So that has helped tremendously of really trying to guide the top tier talent, because the ones that want to grow and learn are going to be your key leaders that grow within the organization, all right? So shifting over to you as the business owner, this is kind of a bonus footage or bonus nugget for you guys, but I put my 3 biggest pivotal books that helped me out when I was first starting in my business. All right, so in the beginning, when we were only doing $22,000 a year, and then next year we did $125,000, and the next year we did $365,000, I needed to grow and learn, because at the end of the day, you and I as business owners are the lid to our organization. So the organization will only grow to how big your skill set is and your knowledge base is. So if you stop growing, learning, expanding your knowledge, the business is going to stagnate and not continue to grow. So you need to get around people, like-minded people. You need to stretch yourself. You need to be uncomfortable and get out of your comfort zone in order to grow your business and get around higher level people that are in the same maybe business as you or things like that. Definitely want to reach out to other people. So speaking of reaching out to other people, my time is very valuable, okay? Let me look at you guys. My time is very, very valuable, and right now I am doing free coaching calls for you. So if you find that valuable for your lawn care and landscaping business, in the link below, I have an email. Shoot me an email, set up a call, let me help you, and let us help the community. All right, so these are the 3 books that I have found to be super beneficial. So I put over here, the number of employees kind of matters at this stage because it just does, right? So like when you're first starting off the first year in business, you're probably gonna have 0 to 3 employees. What I have found to be the best, this also helps with sales too, is the book called How to Win Friends and Influence People. Super pivotal, a pivotal book that allows you to be able to communicate and talk to people, use their name, smile, stand up with good posture, right? And own the stage when you're talking to someone like that, right? Notice how I just own the stage here, okay? So this is a really good book though, all jokes aside, definitely highly recommend it. This will also lead into relationships, family, spouse, all that stuff. So this is a really good book. It's called How to Win Friends and Influence People. I think it'll be really beneficial if you have 0 to 3 employees. All right, moving forward, this is a really extreme, legit book, all right? So being someone that was a paratrooper in the United States Army for almost 6 years, great book. Jocko Willink, he's a Navy SEAL. It was written by a Navy SEAL, and the dude's bad to the bone, and he wrote a bad to the bone book, which is called Extreme Ownership. And what I have found the sweet spot for that book is when you get to roughly 3 to 15 employees. Now this book, this actually became one of our core values now in our organization, is we take extreme ownership for everything. Because so often, as a leader, you need to own everything. If a team member forgets to shut a gate on the property, it's my fault. It's not theirs. Even though they were the ones that are out there driving the truck, pushing the mower, it's my fault by not educating them and training them and coaching them properly about the significance of shutting that gate and how a dog can get out, etc., etc. So when you start to shift your mindset like that, you can start to take control of the situation. Too often, most of the time, when people get into an issue or a scenario like that, they say, oh, he did it. It was his fault. That's easy. That's the lazy way to push off the blame to someone else so you don't have to take control for it. So in all aspects of life, extreme ownership is very, very valuable. Highly recommend that. All right. And then again, another book when you're at 3 to 15 employees is the 10X Rule. This was written by Grant Cardone, and I cannot explain to you the mindset shift that occurs when you read this book. Too often people underestimate the amount of effort it's going to take to build a business, the amount of effort it's going to take to hire a team member, the amount of effort it's going to take to do whatever you need to do in your business. And what we have found is when you take heart of what the 10X Rule does, what it does is it says, whatever you're thinking, whatever your thought is, right? Let's say you're trying to hire a new team member. Here we are, attracting new talent, right? Okay, it's going to take maybe 10 interviews to find somebody good, okay? That's what you're probably thinking, 10, 15 interviews initially in your thought process if you haven't done this before. That's what I thought when I first started. Oh, it's going to take maybe 10 interviews, and then from 10, we'll probably pick one solid person. That's the wrong mindset. When you have the 10X Rule mindset, in your mind, you multiply whatever your expectation is or expecting by 10. And so you go into this process and you say, instead of it taking 10 potential candidate interviews, we have to go through 100 to find that runner, that top tier 1% talent that's going to allow us to go from here to here together and have that win-win relationship. And so going into that mindset, when you already have it in your mind that it's going to take 100 interviews to find that one person, on the 15th interview that doesn't show up, you're like, this is part of the game. This is how it's supposed to be. This is how it's meant to be. It's supposed to be hard. It's supposed to be like this. Why? Because you already have the 10x rule mindset instilled in your brain. So really great piece of aspect of reading is the 10x rule. Highly recommend it. Look, if you found this video helpful for you and your business, do me a favor, hit the like button, please. It helps the algorithm, helps us reach more great business owners just like you guys, and helps the community out. So thanks. If you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments below. We'll see you next time.